Hi there, I'm Changzhou Han. I'm glad to introduce our work, which has been orally accepted by CVPR2026, Boost SLT, boosting sign language translation via a plug-and-play diffusion-based semantic enhancer. Sign languages are important languages for deaf communities. In real-world use, we want a sign language translation system to convert sign videos into readable text. This can help in education, public services, media, and daily communication. Current SLT methods can be divided into two main types. The first type is gloss-based SLT. In this pipeline, the model first recognizes glosses from the input video. A gloss is a written label for a sign. Then another model translates the glosses into natural language text. The second type is gloss-free SLT. This method does not use glosses. It directly translates sign videos into text with an encoder-decoder model. Now we know that current sign language translation methods have improved a lot. However, when the input becomes longer and closer to real signing videos, current systems still have clear problems. The first problem is weak coherence in long sequences. In a long sign video, many mini units are connected together. A model may translate some short parts correctly, but the final sentence can still be incomplete, broken, or inconsistent in meaning. The second problem comes from autoregressive decoding. Many recent language model-based SLT systems generate text one token at a time. If an early word is wrong, this error can affect the later output. In SLT, this problem can be even worse because the translated text is complex and not stable enough. Therefore, we want to use BoostSLT to keep the scalability of current translation, but also improve the temporal structure and the global meaning of long translations. So we break the task into three stages: segmentation, translation, and global reconstruction. First, for a sign video, we extract human key points and build a pose sequence. When one meaning unit ends and another begins, the motion energy often changes. So we use this energy signal to cut the long video into shorter and more meaningful segments. Second, each short video segment is translated by a modular sign-to-text model. This part is flexible. The translation model can be a gloss-free model, a gloss-based model, or another existing SLT model. Boost SLT does not require changing the original translation backbone. This makes the whole framework easy to use with different models and datasets. Third, after we get the short translations, we do not directly join them together. Instead, we use diffusion-based semantic reconstruction to rebuild the final sentence. The diffusion model looks at the whole sentence and refines it globally. The first module is energy-aware temporal segmentation. Its goal is to decide where to cut a long sign video. We first extract hand key points from the video and measure how much these key points move between neighboring frames, which gives us a motion energy curve. Instead of cutting the video randomly, we search for low energy points near the expected cutting positions. This makes the system less likely to cut in the middle of a sign, so it does not need gloss-level boundary labels. The second module is diffusion-based semantic reconstruction. If we simply put the short translations together, the final sentence may still be broken. So we use the short translations as semantic anchors. Then the model masks uncertain or less important parts and regenerates them step by step. TSR refines the whole sentence together, avoiding the error accumulation. The first contribution is that we identify a practical limitation of current SLT systems. Existing models can work well on short sentences, but their performance becomes less stable when the input is longer. The second contribution is BoostSLT, a plug-and-play enhancement framework, which can be applied to different existing SLT models. It has two main components. EETC cuts non-sign videos into coherent semantic units without using gloss boundary labels. DSR then refines the translated segments into a complete and coherent sentence through diffusion-based reconstruction. The third contribution is the improvement in both quantitative and qualitative results. BoostSLT improves translation performance across multiple datasets and backbones. Here, we evaluate BoostSLT on two SLT datasets, Phoenix and CSL Daily. We compare 6 SLT backbones. For each model, we compare the original version with the BoostSLT enhanced version. The results show a clear and consistent trend. After adding BoostSLT, most models achieve higher metrics on both development and test sets. This means the improvement is not limited to one dataset or one model. Another important finding is that BoostSLT improves both traditional SLT models and recent language model-based systems. Here, we further evaluate BoostSLT on Auslan Daily. The gains are clear not only in BLAU1, but also in BLAU2, BLAU3, and BLAU4. Higher order BLAU scores reflect phrase level consistency, so this suggests that BoostSLT improves sentence structure and semantic continuity, not just word level accuracy. Overall, these results show that BoostSLT remains effective on Auslan and works across both daily communication and news style signing. The goal of this experiment is to check whether each part of BoostSLT is useful. We compare EAT-seg with random segmentation and compare DSR with autoregressive post editors like GPT and fine-tuned Llama. This result shows that both modules are necessary. EAT-seg gives better video segments, and DSR rebuilds these segment translations into a more coherent final sentence. The first takeaway is that long-form SLT is a real challenge. We cannot simply apply short sentence translation models to longer videos. Longer inputs contain more meaning units, longer context, and more complex sentence structure. This is where current models often become unstable. The second takeaway is that the problem is not only word accuracy. A baseline model may translate some local parts correctly, but the full sentence can still be broken or inconsistent. This means that good local translation is not enough for long-form SLT. The third takeaway is that segmentation quality matters. Random segmentation may cut through a sign or break a meaningful unit. Energy-aware segmentation uses motion patterns to find more natural cut points. These better segments give the reconstruction module better input. The fourth takeaway is that diffusion-based reconstruction is more suitable for this task. GPT or fine-tuned llama can improve fluency, but they still edit or generate text step by step. DSR refines the whole sentence together, so it is better at fixing global structure and reducing accumulated errors. The final takeaway is that BoostSLT works as a complement to existing SLT models. It improves different backbones, including LLM-enhanced models. This shows that BoostSLT is not just replacing the language model. It adds a separate global reconstruction step, which is especially useful for long and complex sign language translation. Thank you for your hearing.